Update included. Am I the a-hole for snapping at my husband for repeatedly bringing up breast surgery? I'm 27 and my husband is 34. We have been married for over a year and together for 6 years. He's a gym freak, which I don't have a problem with, except for when he tries to impose his routine on me or pressure me into adopting his dietary habits. I exercise too, but I enjoy my food and nothing will change that. That's not what I'm posting about though. Lately I can't wear a dress without him telling me I look good, but that I would look better if I had breast augmentation surgery. He never complained about my breasts for 6 years until the past 4 to 5 months. I've told him before that I'm not against it, but not planning to get one. It took me years to regain my confidence because my mother used to make hurtful remarks about my chest as if it's something I didn't achieve. A few days ago, we were having sex and he didn't hesitate to remind me, again, that I would look 10 times better with implants, which turned me off instantly. I don't remember exactly what I said, but I said something along the lines of, "Oh, I know how it feels. Never mind, you're the perfect size. The big ones hurt anyway." He got mad and called me immature. Mind you, he's been pressuring me to have the surgery for 4 months now, and I never snapped at him. Yesterday, we were getting ready to go to his friend's wedding, but I ended up staying home. He brought up the surgery again and I snapped at him. I reminded him that we dated for 5 years before we got married. He had plenty of time to realize that I'm not good enough for him and break up with me to find a woman who has what he's looking for. He's right. I'm flat-chested, but I have a nice body overall. He said he loves me and wants to be with me, but feels he could be more attracted to me with bigger breasts. I ended up telling him to go alone. I can't shake off the feeling that our recent arguments are taking us down a toxic path. It's not the kind of relationship I want for us. Is this worth considering divorce over? Other than this, we do get along very well, but I feel like he's taking me back to the days when I would stand in front of the mirror for minutes, thinking I would never find a man who would like me if I myself don't like what I'm seeing. Now to the update. I had no intention of mentioning divorce until I made my decision. I was hoping we would end up agreeing on counseling or something. I just wanted an honest conversation to know if there was a way to fill that void for him without ever getting the surgery. I sat him down last night, and just like usual, he tried to change the subject. I made it clear to him that we either talk about it now, or he never ever brings breast surgery up again. Well, that did it for him. I asked him why suddenly after 6 years together he wants me to get one. He wouldn't give me a straight answer. I told him if I'm to consider having one, he needs to be honest with me about what changed in the past few months. He grabbed his phone and showed me some pictures of women, and let me tell you, they weren't Instagram models, they were 100% OF models. He showed me more than 5 pictures with no shame or the slightest consideration of my feelings. With each pic he said things like, "See, you would look 10 times hotter," and "She's not even as gorgeous as you are, but..." I asked him if I decide to never get the surgery, would he ever drop the idea? Like, can we move past it? He said it's something he can't stop thinking about because he really feels like he would be more attracted to me and that I myself would feel more confident with the boob job. I know how small my chest is, but I know that I've a nice figure. People look, people compliment. They can't all be liars. I asked what he likes about me in general because none of those women look anything like me. He said that I'm gorgeous and have a killer smile, and he likes my curvy hips. I asked if there's anything else he likes about me in general. I was hoping he'd mention something other than my body, and all he said was, "Your lips." I told him since I'm considering breast augmentation surgery, is there anything else he thinks I could fix so he feels more attracted to me while we're at it? I hoped that he would at least say, other than my boobs, he loves everything about me. But he just said, "Nah, you're good." I told him I'd think about it and said goodnight because I didn't want to give him the satisfaction of seeing my tears. I don't know if I'm just stupid and never paid attention to the red flags, or if he just decided to show me his true colors now that we're married. By the way, since some asked, yes, he does know about my history with my mother. Every woman in my family is a C cup or higher, including my younger sister. I'm the only one with an A cup. He initiated sex tonight, and I told him there's a lot on my mind right now. He didn't argue, and after like 5 minutes he said, "I will pay for it. Don't you worry about that." When we first met, he was quite overweight and never went to the gym. I'm mentioning this because some said I hooked up with him for his good looks and physique. Physique wasn't on the table back then, But it never would have mattered to me, as long as he cared about me for who I am, despite not being perfect. Anyway, he was always so insecure about his looks, and I never ever said a thing about it. I always told him, I love this and that about him and his body. I boosted his ego just for him to decide that he would be more attracted to me if I get a boob job after 6 years together. And for those saying I'm lazy for not going to the gym with him and that he wants what's best for me, I do exercise. Yes, I'm an A cup and I know it's not for everyone and I respect that, but I'm absolutely gorgeous. My mother, him, or anyone else won't change that. I'm a babe. Deal with it. He himself used to mention how I get looks all the time when we're out. It hurts not feeling desired by the person you love the most and want to be desired by. Other than that, I'm perfectly happy with my body. And if I ever decide to get the boob job, I will get it for me, not for someone who finishes in 2 minutes and can't even hit the spot. I need time to make a plan before I start the process. When everything is ready and I have a place lined up, I will serve him the papers. By the way, I will initiate sex tonight and every night until the day I serve him. I bought a dildo today thrice his size, and I'm using it right after he finishes. If he goes low, I'm going lower until I have an exit plan ready. Am I the a-hole for giving my mother-in-law a list of demands after she asked us to move in with her? I will start with the list. 1. She will be getting rid of her dog. 2. Her and her boyfriend are not to reprimand my children at all. They will be expected to come tell me or my husband if my children are doing something wrong. 3. There will be a list of people who are not allowed at the house. This includes their family and friends. 4. Me, my husband, and my children will be treated with respect at all times, and I will not be treated like a child. 5. My husband and I will absolutely be put on the deed as the main deed holder before we move in. 6. If any of these demands are not held to the highest standard, I will be withdrawing. Story. My mother-in-law is getting up there in age. Not old. She's 66, but her health isn't the best. She recently asked us to move in with her because she can no longer work, has zero retirement funds, and can't get around like she used to. She needs help, and we are the only ones who can help her. She has until the end of the month to pay off $12,000 in back taxes before her home goes into foreclosure. My mother-in-law, by herself, is an awesome woman. I love her to bits, but she's a people pleaser to the extreme, and it's made her fall into situations that I will never be okay with putting myself in. Her boyfriend Mason, who is also 66, is a felon due to his continuous drunk driving charges. He just got out of prison last year, after 6 years on the inside, and is already right back to drinking all day, every day. He got drunk one night back 8 months ago and decided to go and adopt a 5-year-old Rottweiler Mastiff mix and then failed to make any attempt to train the animal. It is now food aggressive, kennel aggressive, toy aggressive, and resource guards everything. He is aggressively protective over my mother-in-law. So, the dog would have to go. Under no circumstances will I make an exception on this. My children are small, one still crawling, and that animal will not get the opportunity to maul my children. If the dog stays, we do not move in, period. Mason also has an old-school style of parenting and on more than one occasion has tried to father my children in angry, outdated parenting style ways, hence why I said neither he nor my mother-in-law will reprimand or discipline any of my children in any way, shape, or form. I stated that my name will be put on the deed prior to moving in because it will be me and my husband forking over the money to save their home, and frankly, I don't trust Mason to not try and kick us out after we do so. So, if we're not put as main deed holder, we will not be moving in and she can lose her home. As for the limit on who is allowed at the house, Mason has a family member who is a convicted P-word. The girl was 4 years old. He went to prison for 13 years, and Mason still hangs out with him often. He seems to think that since the man is in a wheelchair, he is now harmless. Absolutely not. He is not welcome at the home. As for them treating us with respect under all circumstances and not treating me like a child, there's been several times where Mason and my mother-in-law have tried making decisions for me and my husband or told us what to do, and I will not tolerate it. I gave them the list of demands yesterday and said either my demands are followed or this arrangement will not happen. Mason and my mother-in-law are both saying that the list makes them feel as though they are children/guests of their own home and feel like I've now decided I'm going to control their lives. They've asked to make some changes, as in, they want to keep the dog and have stated that we'll just find a way to keep the dog separate from us. Mason also wants his family member to be allowed here, but has stated he will keep them in their portion of the house and away from my kids. They also feel they should be able to reprimand and discipline my children if they're doing something wrong as long as it's within reason. I told them they can speak to the parent, and that's final. I told them I'm not budging on any of this. My sister-in-law seems to think I'm being ridiculous. Am I the a-hole? Am I the a-hole for kicking out my pregnant daughter to live with her boyfriend, since she decided that she wants to keep the baby but not be a mom? I'm 35 and the mother of a 19-year-old girl. We live in a state where termination is legal. I had my daughter when I was very young and I don't regret it, but I would never encourage it due to how hard it was. I had little to no support, and I would never wish the pain I went through on anyone. My daughter's father passed when I was pregnant, and she has no stepfather. It's always just been the two of us. I was kicked out of my home the second my family found out that I was pregnant. No questions asked, and we haven't been in contact since. I've moved halfway across the country since then, and I will not ever be reconciling. My daughter's been dating her boyfriend for roughly 4 years now. Her boyfriend is the same age as her and not a bad kid, but he is still just a child in my eyes. They both are. Her boyfriend still lives with his parents and refuses to go to college. My daughter wanted to be a nurse but has now decided that she won't pursue a career because she wants to be a stay-at-home mom forever. She would have been going to school this fall, but decided to unenroll before it began. My daughter came to me 2 weeks ago to tell me that she's 2 months pregnant. I sat her down and had a chat with her. I told her that I didn't want her to go through the same things I went through. I asked her how this happened, and she said that it was planned. She and her boyfriend mutually decided that they wanted to be parents, and this horrified me because she knows all about the struggle we went through together and that I went through alone. I regretfully called her stupid and was very upset, but I told her that we can work through this together. But since she has decided to keep the baby, I gave her stricter rules, told her how it works, told her what's going to change, and that she will be getting an education under my roof. These terms are non-negotiable. My daughter didn't like this. She fully expected me to allow her boyfriend to move in, who is unemployed by the way, give her college fund as money to spend on the baby, the two of them as a couple, and whatever else she wants, not pursue an education, and still go out whenever she wanted. I told her that I will watch her baby when she's at school, and for a few hours a day when she does homework. I also said that I will watch her baby on Saturdays and Saturdays alone, so that she can still have fun and be somewhat of a teenager. I wish I'd been given a day off to recharge, take a break from being a mom, and just enjoy my childhood. I know that is all very lenient, but I love my daughter. We've ended up arguing almost every day since, and my daughter's demands have gotten out of hand. She claims that I'm being very unfair, and I told her to look up what teen pregnancy is like and what motherhood is all about because the conditions and rules that I gave her are very, very lax. I told her that if she won't abide by these rules, then she'll have to live with her boyfriend's family. She cried and yelled at me, but I put my foot down. She ended up moving out 3 days ago. We've never had a fight like this. We've argued about petty things such as sleepovers and parties, but it was always resolved within a few hours and was never serious like this. I've texted her multiple times that if she changes her mind on the pregnancy or the rules, then she's more than welcome to come back home and that I will always love her no matter what she chooses. I also told her that she'll always be my baby girl and that I didn't want her to go, but we have no space for a full family and being a mother means that your entire life will change. My heart aches. I love my daughter and feel like I failed her as a mother despite being so involved. She knows all about contraception, was never bullied. We were basically best friends, though I am still her mother and she has always known that. It isn't just fun. I do discipline her when I have to, but we get along amazingly, and we do everything together. I never thought this would happen. She had no better reason to get pregnant other than, I wanted to be a mom and I'm ready, but she isn't thinking about what a mother actually does. I know I made being a single mother look easy, but it never was. I worked 2-3 jobs for the majority of my life, didn't eat some days so that my daughter never went hungry and always had nice clothes. I only finally got a real job as a nurse 2 years ago, after being in and out of school for over a decade. Am I the a-hole for kicking her out? I thought that this was the best thing to do to teach her that things will be changing. I want her to come home, I really do. But if she won't accept these new rules and understand that motherhood is not easy, I can't just let her back in willingly. I feel like such an a-hole. Am I the a-hole for not talking with my mom before taking her off my bank account? I'm a 21-year-old woman, and I've always had a great relationship with my mother. I could talk to her about anything: relationship problems, school drama, etc. If anything, our relationship grew stronger when I went off to college. I called her once, maybe twice a week, and texted her regularly. My bank account has both mine and my mom's name on the account, and we both have access to it. I opened it when I was 15 and was starting to work after school and on the weekends. My mom was teaching me how to be responsible with my money. So anyway, I have a habit of checking my account to make sure I don't have any unfamiliar charges. Starting senior year of high school, my mom began asking to borrow money to pay the bills. Granted, she did tell me she would pay me back, but we're not talking a couple hundred, we're talking like a couple thousand. But she did end up paying me back each time, and it wasn't a big deal. More recently though, the last 2 times, she hasn't asked to borrow the money, she just takes it. Again, she does pay me back, but it's like a month later. I no longer live at home, and I have rent to pay and other expenses. I don't appreciate checking my account and not having the money I should have. I still have enough for my expenses, but it's just annoying. I'm now in the process of taking my mom off my account. I haven't told her yet, and to be honest, I'm nervous to tell her. I don't want to ruin our relationship over money. So am I the a-hole for not talking with my mom before taking her off my bank account?